It is the 28th day of November 2024, the last Thursday of this 11th month of the year. Good evening and welcome to the Daily Report. Tonight is the night for the Insight. My name is George Maringa, sitting in for my colleague Victor Muyakane. And later on the Insight, will be a conversation on the power of a clean glass of water. You want to stand by for that conversation that my colleague Victor Muyakane held with two gentlemen, Dennis Mavia and Victor Dihanda. That and much more coming your way right here on the Daily Report. We invite your feedback at TV47 News, at George Maringa _ at Muyakane. But before then, here is what is making headlines tonight. Tonight, chaos erupted in a burial former DP Gachagua was attending in Limuru, Kiambu County.
Na kwa hivyo tunaona ni kama kulikuwa na mpango ambayo familia na viongozi ambao walikuwa wamefika katika mazishi haya hawakuweza kujua kuna kitu ilikuwa imepangwa.
His allies have recorded a statement with the DCI. Also tonight, comply or go.
There are government agencies that are still dodgy, and I want to put them on notice.
President Ruto puts 34 CEOs on notice for failing to comply with e-Citizen. Plus, 13 people reported dead in a landslide in eastern Uganda following heavy rains in the region, Red Cross confirms. And 7 suspects in the murder of China's boys' high school student turned into state agencies after they were arraigned in court. Thank you for choosing TV47 to inform you. Kelvin Makori is on sign language interpretation tonight. You can engage us on our WhatsApp number as well as our SMS line. Even subscribe to our YouTube channel, that is at TV47 Kenya. Go ahead and chime your feedback. The live chat is active. Tonight, former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has accused the government of sponsoring Thursday's chaos during a burial in Limuru, Kiambu County, saying he will not be scared while terming the attack as a major low for the state. Gachagua's statement on his social media handles came after his allies, former Limuru MP Peter Mwathi and Bibiron area MCA, were arrested by people believed to be police officers. Apollo Kamau reports on a day that Gachagua and his allies were forced to flee for their lives.
Mourners attending a burial in Bibirioni, Limuru, Kiambu County were forced to flee for their lives after goons disrupted a burial ceremony attended by former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua and his allies. The angry youth, who are allegedly after Gachagua, destroying the dignitary's tent as chaos ensued, flying chairs and stones targeted at the leaders and their vehicles, turning the venue into a theater of chaos and destruction, as mourners caught in the chaos were left nursing injuries.
Mimi nilikuwa nimesimama, hata sijui niligongwa na nini. Niliona mawe inaenda juu, nafikiri niligongwa na mawe, nikaanguka chini.
Na venye tumeona hao wakora walikuwa wana target kwenye Rigathi Gachagua meketi, ile gari Rigathi Gachagua walikuwa naenda ndani yake, walikuwa wanamtarget yeye mwenyewe. Nao sio wananchi wa hapa.
Ndio watu wameingilia ile hema yenye ilikuwa na naibu wa rais wa zamani, wakaanza kuipiga kwa mawe, kwa vyuma, wakaharibu hema, wakaharibu viti.
Kama kuna mkono wa serikali, sisi hatuwezi kuelewa ni kwa nini kwa serikali inaogopa kukosolewa. Kwa sababu hii sio serikali ya kwanza. Serikali zimekuwa mingi, duniani mzima kuna serikali na kukosolewa ni kawaida.
Tension began after the area MP John Kiragu refused to sit in the tent reserved for dignitaries and instead sat with the clergy. Chaos followed, forcing former Limuru MP Peter Mwathi to cut short his speech as the leaders and mourners scampered for safety.
Mimi ningekuwa mtu wa kuvuruga, si basi ningejua vile nitajikinga. Mimi napigwa, alafu watu yangu wamepigwa, gari yangu imepigwa, kwani hii sikuwa nimejipanga. Kama ni watu wa kupanga, si basi unajipanga na vile wewe utatoroka ama nini. Hii maneno mimi nimeshangaa kwa sababu imeanza kama kitu kidogo tu, alafu all of a sudden hii kitu imepasuka.
Gachagua allies later Thursday evening went to the DCI headquarters to protest the arrest of former Limuru MP Peter Mwathi and Bibirioni MCA Christopher Kamau. Gachagua later took to his social media handles, accusing President William Ruto's administration of hiring goons to attack him. In a statement, the former DP said, and I quote, "This is a very sad state of affairs and a major loss for the state, who are clearly complicit in these actions." Gachagua further said he will not be scared in standing with Kenyans who need support in a time of need. This is the second time Gachagua is involved in a major incident after gate-crashing the Ihura Stadium meeting organized by Kikuyu musicians, sponsored by the government. Apul Kamau, TV47.
Thank you, Apollo, for that. And just this evening, allies of former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua have addressed the media a few minutes ago, and then let's just listen to what they had to say.
Members of Parliament, senators and MPs, and of course former MPs from different sections of this country. Limuru funeral disruption through hired goons, where HE Rigathi Gachagua and MPs were in attendance, an abduction of Honorable Peter Mwathi and the area MCA Honorable Mkuu. Hired and well-coordinated goons violently disrupted an otherwise peaceful burial of a 23-year-old young man in Limuru, Bibirioni area. The second Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, whose security was totally withdrawn 2 days ago, was present. Together with him was myself, the Senator of the Great County of Kiambu, Senator Seki, the Senator of Kajiado, Honorable Member MP for Kajiado North, Onesmus Gogoyo is here, John Kagusha, the Honorable Member of Parliament for Mukurweini, the local MCA Jabezi Mkuu, and a host of other leaders, former MP of Limuru, Honorable Mwathi, and the current MP for Limuru, Honorable Kirago, who deserted the VIP tent before the attack. The over 300 goons who started arriving in the barrio midway the program attacked the VIP tent. HE Rigathi Gachagua was seated where the Deputy President was seated. They demolished the tent and threw seats at Rigathi Gachagua, the Deputy President, and his entourage. On exit, more goons attacked Gachagua's convoy, seriously damaging his cars and injuring a number of people. The goons were armed with stones, pangas, and axes. Apparently, the goons were transported to the venue with clear instructions to harm and possibly assassinate His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua. There is a clear scheme to further intimidate and harm Rigathi Gachagua, his aides, and MPs who accompany him.
Has been abducted by the infamous Subaru cars as he fled from the same funeral. And it's good to note that even the MCA is also suspected to have been abducted as well. And now we are begging the following questions. Why was there no presence of police officers in the event where His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua was attending, and yet he is a VIP in this country who should be protected? Why was HE Rigathi Gachagua security withdrawn 2 days ago? Why did our colleague, the MP for Limuru, Hon Kirago, sit away from the VIP tent?
Honorable Mwathi, the former MP for Limuru, be released with immediate effect.
The concerned authorities, and they have obviously denied us entry something that is very, very shocking, that elected members of parliament and senators who have the mandate of the people of Kenya through the power of the vote can be denied to access DCI headquarters at this time to follow up on matters that pertains to people's lives. A missing member of parliament, former member of parliament, a father and a husband and a father of children, it's something that is worrying at this hour. We would want to understand what is going on. Abductions are really back in this country where people cannot go freely to a funeral and go back home. And this is something we wanted to have a conversations with the in-charge security officers at the DCI. They have started telling us to go to Nyeri, which is our regional headquarters. And I don't think that is procedural for any member of parliament to be denied to access services at any part of this country. Because even if I'm elected in Githunguri, my Githunguri people are also people who live in Nairobi. So I have a reason to come here to the DCI headquarters to represent.
And of course, we will continue following that report for you even as events unfold. Still on Mount Kenya issues, where a section of Mount Kenya musicians have distanced themselves from alleged ploy to diminish and frustrate former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua after what happened at Ihora Stadium, Maringa on Sunday. Another section of Mount Kenya artists have been claiming that the financiers of the concert gave conditions to the event organizer Martin Janet not to allow Gachagua to address the crowd. And as Mike Kagwango reports, the popular musician has since refuted claims he orchestrated the plan, saying there was a blackout immediately Gachagua arrived.
The unfolding events at the popular Ihora Stadium in Maringa last Sunday have taken a new twist, with local musicians saying it was a plan to frustrate former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. Popular Kikuyu gospel musician Martin Janet is accused of attempting to stop Gachagua from addressing a crowd that had gathered at his organized event at Ihora Stadium in Maringa. When Gachagua emerged from the crowd, Martin Janet allegedly switched off the sound system and stopped Gachagua from addressing the crowd, though the former DP somehow managed to address the crowd. According to a section of local musicians, the financiers of the concert gave condition that Martin Janet does not allow Gachagua to address the crowd.
Hata mimi wakati nilirequest Ligiji atembelee event ya muimbaji rafiki yangu, muimbaji ambaye mimi mwenyewe tunakuwa pamoja kwa industry ya music, na Ligiji akaniambia tutaenda. Hatukuwa tunajua ya kwamba event ni ya serikali.
Ngaroya Jr., a popular musician who was invited to perform at the event, says he has information that there is a ploy to use Mount Kenya region musicians to popularize Deputy President Kithure Kindiki in the region as a peace caravan.
Wamepanga, kuna jamaa mwingine rafiki yangu anaitwa Mwigai, walikuwa wamepanga na yeye ya kwamba watazunguka Mount Kenya. Watu Mwigai akakataa. Wakaita wasanii wengine hapo, wakaambia si tuketi chini tupange hii mipango ya kusunguka Mount Kenya kwa sababu ya huyu jamaa yetu.
Nasikia kuna pesa mingi ambao zilikuwa zimewekwa pale kwa sababu wanataka watumie wasanii kwanza kuweka Wakikuyu pamoja, then sasa wakuje wauzie agenda ambao wako nayo.
Mtu alikuwa anaitwa kama muimbaji, unaambiwa kwamba wewe ukuje uperformie watu. So naweza sema sio wote walijua kwamba huo mkutano ulikuwa maybe sponsored by the government.
A section of musicians now says the incident has since diminished their relationships with their fans, who on Sunday castigated the event organizer for his actions.
Mafans wetu wanaona ni kana kwamba sisi wenyewe hatuna msimamo, ni kama tumechanganyikiwa. Kwa hivyo mimi naweza sema iko picha nzuri hata kidogo, kwa sababu sisi wenyewe ndo sisi ni kama viongozi, tunafaa tuwaonyeshe njia nzuri ni hii.
Tunafaa kukua kioo cha jamii, hivyo kwamba tunafaa kujihadhari sana kwa kuhusu siasa.
Kama hiyo time wasanii wangejua the event, who is sponsoring the event, I know some of them hawangeenda. Hata ingekuwa ni do.
Martin Janet, who has since deactivated his social media accounts following a huge backlash from fans, refuted claims he was financed, stressing that there was a blackout immediately Gachagua arrived.
Tutire onomwe twitite no uria angigioka na thayo nitumukaribishe no uria tungiona nioka na njira ya kurehe mucemanio tai na thayo tumwire no.
Mimi kwangu nikiangalia sio ya amani, kwa sababu kweni Gachagua mwenyewe hataki amani. Kwa sababu si ilikuwa ya wananchi, watu wakuja tuongee amani. Kwa hivyo wanaweza sema hatutaki amani ya huyu, tunataka amani ya yule.
Kama mimi hata nikiitwa wapi na niambiwe kuja tunaenda stadium fulani kuna do, tunaenda tu. Wewe utashinda ukiulizia nani amepatia na do.
Gachagua's ouster has created a heated political temperature in the Mount Kenya region. Mike Kagwango, TV47, Nairobi.
Thank you, Mike, for that report. Let's take you to the neighboring Uganda, where 15 people have been confirmed dead in a landslide in Bulambuli district of eastern Uganda. More than 45 households have been buried completely, with others damaged. The Ugandan Red Cross says it is working in collaboration with local authorities on the rescue process. CGTN's Leon Senyange was at the scene and tells us of the rescue mission.
The heavy rains through Wednesday night left a trail of devastation in Bulambuli district in eastern Uganda. Rescuers say at least 40 houses were completely buried, with others sustaining partial damage. While some bodies have been recovered, there are fears that many more are still buried under the rubble.
We continue to support the families that have been affected. Of course, together with the emergency medical services. 15 people have been referred for further medical assistance after we offered first aid, and we continue to work with the local leadership to come together with to come up with a rapid assessment report.
Last month, more than 400 people were left homeless in the same district due to landslides triggered by heavy rain. Such natural disasters have become common in the mountainous area bordering Kenya. Authorities have warned of fresh cracks that have formed in the landslide-prone region along Mountain Elgon slopes. Uganda is currently experiencing above normal rains, which could continue until the end of the year.
Now, NAK Kenya Party leader Martha Karua on Thursday reignited her presidential ambitions. Karua has revealed that her NAK Kenya Party is set for rebranding, changes that aim to attract broader support with the intention of contesting for the country's top seat in the 2027 general elections. Moige William with the details of the changes to come.
Purple and white will be the new color of the NAK Kenya Party, departing from its current green and red. Albeit maintaining a rose flower as its party symbol, the Martha Karua-led party has adopted changes that could see the party bear a new name as part of its strategic rebranding. NAK Kenya joining the bandwagon of political vehicles that have taken an early leap ahead of the 2027 general polls.
The reason that we exist as a political party is to take up leadership, to take up, or rather to grab power democratically, and we are ready for that power grab.
Karua further hinting into more party plans as they eye the House on the Hill State House, among them announcing plans to launch a massive national membership recruitment drive in preparation for the 2027 general election.
We have witnessed electoral and socio-economic injustice exemplified by unfair and manifestly excessive taxation, earning Ruto the name of Zakayo. Even children now know.
The resolution occurred during a national delegates conference held in Nairobi. The Karua-led party also agreed on the party's exit from the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition. Karua explaining the party is still open to working with other like-minded parties.
For the sake of the nation, we have in the past, and we will in the future. We will do so more carefully with lessons learned, and we deliberately look for people who have demonstrated and continue to demonstrate commitment.
Martha Karua adds to the list of people eyeing the country's seat in a bid to unseat President William Ruto, who Karua launched a scathing attack against his regime that she says has failed Kenyans in all aspects. Mwigi William, TV47.
The Election and Boundaries Commission now says it has no powers to conduct the delimitation of constituencies until new commissioners are appointed. IEBC CEO Marjan Hussein Marjan has told the National Assembly Public Petitions Committee that the commission is waiting for the determination by the Supreme Court after the delimitation period elapsed in March this year.
Speaking before the National Assembly Public Petitions Committee, Independent Electoral Boundaries Commission CEO Marjan Hussein Marjan told members that the ball lies with the Supreme Court to determine whether the Secretariat has the powers to conduct the delimitation of constituencies, counties and wards after the set delimitation timelines elapsed early this year. Marjan told the lawmakers that the Commission sought an advice from the Supreme Court on whether to conduct the delimitation exercise before the appointment of new commissioners.
Is still pending before the Supreme Court. As a matter of information, and owing to the lacuna in the membership of the Commission, the Secretariat has sought an advisor from the Supreme Court with regard to the lapsed timelines for delimitation of boundaries in order to get guidance on the next steps given the current legal crisis.
However, members of parliament raised pertinent questions on the delay in the lapse of timeline, while some constituencies have been without a representative for a while now.
What happens if they don't? A. B. How long are you anticipating this? In view that you said you did seek this advisory in July 2024.
If the Supreme Court renders its guidelines now and say, for example, we were able to do it as Secretariat, then we can go ahead and do it. But also there's a question of who can also extend the timelines now that the timelines are already over, because as you rightly put, and as presented, the timelines expired on 5th of March 2024.
Marjan says the move to have new commissioners in place has been marred with challenges after court cases barring the selection panel.
The Commission recommends that the process of recruitment of commissioners be fast-tracked to enable the Commission discharge its constitutional mandate, which includes the delimitation of constituencies and ward boundaries.
Meanwhile, the IEBC Legal Director Crispin Owio has dismissed claims of barring live transmission for elections given the provisions of the Constitution.
It is rumors. Is it true that there is an effort to bar live stream of presidential live streaming results? Is it true, or is...
As things stand, the presidential election results of 2027, or whichever time that the presidential elections is conducted, will be transmitted. And what will be transmitted is the image of the statutory result form 34A.
For 2 years, the nation has been without IEBC commissioners after the term of some of the commissioners ended, while others resigned after the 2022 polls. Elizabeth Mutuko, TV47, Nairobi.
Thank you, Elizabeth. President William Ruto has put 34 government agencies on notice over their defiance to comply with government directive of integrating their services within the e-Citizen platform. The CEOs to the 34 agencies now have just 1 week to comply or be shown the door. Sheila Chalangat now reports.
34 government agencies have been blacklisted for failing to comply with the directive of integrating their services on the e-Citizen platform. President William Ruto terming them as dodgy.
I was sent a list this morning of people who are still mangamangering.
Amongst those on the list are the Independent Policing Oversight Authority IPOA, Kenya Power, Energy and Petroleum Regulation Authority EPRA, Kenya Ports Authority KPA, Digital Health Authority, Tana Athi Water Works Development Agency, the National Defence University, amongst others.
Payments and revenues must be on e-citizen platform so that Treasury can follow on the revenues that are being collected by government.
Hence, the President's ultimatum to the CEOs of these agencies flagged for resisting the digitization program.
They have 1 week to comply. Otherwise, they know what to do. They can make use of the door.
In his bid to ensure accountability and transparency, Ruto has issued further a warning to those who have complied but use alternative payment methods.
I want a record in the last 3 months of government agencies that are already on the e-citizen platform but have decided to use alternative means.
The e-citizen platform boasts of offering 22,515 government services to over 13 million users, to which the President has called for the need to protect public resource.
This has seen the government collect billions of shillings every month and cut down on leakages of billions of money that would end up in people's hands corruptly.
Today, Kenya stands as a benchmark in Africa for digital citizen services.
The President was speaking at the first anniversary of the e-citizen platform since its launch. Sheila Chelangat for TV47.
Thank you, Sheila. The proprietors of Savannah Clinker, Benson Netta, will be spending the night at the Muthaiga police station tonight after he was arrested and alleged 700 million Kenya shillings fraud. His co-accused, Charles Hills Jr. from the USA, is wanted to face similar charges.
A Kenyan billionaire, Benson Netta, will be arraigned in court Friday morning over charges of, among others, forgery, conspiracy to commit a felony, conspiracy to defraud, making a document without authority, obtaining execution of a security by false pretenses, and obtaining registration by false pretenses. Netta is the leading bidder in the pending buyout of Bamburi Cement Company, having placed a bid of 27 billion shillings against a Tanzanian firm which had placed a bid of 25 billion shillings. Charles Hill Jr., who is also wanted by investigating officers, is accused of fraudulently executed 6 security documents purporting himself as a director and chairman of Savannah Heights, offering corporate guarantee of the loan facility of $35 million granted by Barclays to Savannah Cement. The investigation showed the acquisition by Netta of the 4,500 shares in Savannah Cement resulted in directors Donald Mwaura Kiboro and John Geshanga becoming minority shareholders in Savannah Cement. It is reported that businessman Kiboro transferred 300 of his shares in Savannah Heights to Falcon Ventures Holdings Limited, represented by Charles Hill Jr., for a consideration of 700 million. According to the charge sheet, sometimes in 2017, the management of Savannah Cement through Netta, in a confidential information memorandum submitted to Barclays Bank of Kenya Limited, applied for the financing of the Savannah Cement's factory's expansion project for a sum of $37 million. Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka, in defending the businessman, says the businessman had acquired a loan.
And if he first were document, first of all, it's important to know ABSA, there's no complainant. That's the issue. Nobody's complaining. The bank is not complaining. So you can see the truth is what I've told you, that he must be stopped from acquiring majority interest in Bamburi Cement. Period.
Paul Kirobi, TV47, Nairobi.
Thank you, Paul. Just a day after the Loa County Referral Hospital was submerged, disrupting the delivery of health services, the hospital's management now says the flood water was caused by a poor drainage system at the Lodwar-Kakuma Road. Elizabeth Atieno now reports.
It is a deluge of destruction that rocked Lodwar town on Tuesday this week. the effects of the heavy downpour went far and wide. Even the Loa County Referral Hospital was not spared from the wrath of Mother Nature. In this video that went viral on social media, distraught patients are seen to be helpless as the ward is submerged. Thursday, TV47 visited the facility to establish the current situation. For now, normal operations have resumed at the hospital and the flood water has since been cleared off.
What happened is that some of our caretakers were at the hospital and the rain was too heavy and it caused flash floods. It affected the whole of Loa town. This is the ward that was affected.
Loa County Referral Hospital Director Dr. Joseph Epem has now revealed that the flood water emanated from the Loa Kakuma Road, whose water drainage system was cut off by the heavy floods and spilled over to the facility, causing the floods.
And it was all because of, since the Chinese contractor finished the construction of A1 Road, there were some blockages that happened. And we have not witnessed heavy rainfall of such a magnitude since the completion of that road.
Loa residents now want the government to apprehend the contractor in charge of the road construction, demanding that he reconstructs the road and develop a new water drainage system.
Lakini sasa tangu Chinese aweke ukuta na barabara, akaweka drainage ambayo ni poor.
Gari ya GK serikali ya CID, juzi maji ilibeba. Paka serikali yenyewe mnabeba na maji yenu ambayo barabara ambayo mlijenga tena. That's a big shame. Gari inafanya sema sort na ni gari ya CID. Sababu ya poor drainage. Mtu anadani ni barabara kwa ameingia kwa shimo ndani.
Tuna nyumba ile permanent. Sisi tuna manyumba ile ya ambayo unakunjana ndio unaingia. Sasa manyumba kama hiyo imeenda.
Some homes have also been submerged. Businesses have been greatly disrupted by the devastating floods. Elizabeth Atieno, TV47.
Thank you, Elizabeth Atieno, for that report, which leads us to our first short commercial break right here on the Daily Report, specifically the Insider. I can see your feedback on our Facebook as well as X and YouTube. Please keep it coming. We'll be able to read it during the broadcast and at the tail end. But for now, let's take a breather. We're back in a few minutes. Do stay with us.
Vile unavyojua watoto wengi sana hawana namna. Mimi ningependelea watoto wasome.
I'm here to stress on education. At the same time, let us actually do any kind of sport that we are doing. Sport speaks the best language to everybody.
Tunataka tutafute talents. Zile raw talents kutoka kule nyumbani mashinani mahali tuko leo.
Hizi mbio za Chepsaita, like all other sports, zinaleta watu pamoja.
We want to use this event to uplift the lives of the community.
Anafurahia hii mchezo sana. Hata sikaange naambianga watu tuende Chepsaita.
Wanafunzi wakimbie ili wakuze talanta ya mbio ama kuhimiza tena elimu.
This is the place to be. Hapa ndipo mahali wanastahili kuwa tarehe 7. Wale watoto walikimbia last year, wamekimbia mpaka wamefuka mipaka zetu za Kenya.
Hey there friends, welcome to Kids on the Block, where fun and imagination come alive. We dive into magical world filled with exciting adventures and awesome friends.
What position were you in?
I was number 2.
What position were you?
Number 1.
He decided to cross the bridge by his house and look for food on the other side.
We're going to do half cup
of chocolate chips, and the other one, we're going to do half cup of the blueberries.
So, grab your imagination hats and get ready to explore with us. Join us every Saturday at 9 a.m. for new friends, amazing stories, and tons of laughter.
Join us as we explore the journeys of those who defy the odds and break barriers. We dive deep into the stories of triumph.
Sometimes when parenting a child with a special need or whatever disability, family life becomes a bit complicated and you may end up raising the child on your own.
Here, we inspire.
I have a farm which one we showcase with other dyslexic youths and autism, how to farm.
Motivate.
It's never easy, but what we do, the best thing is to work with another parent who has an elder child than yours.
And break through the barriers one story at a time. Push your boundaries beyond the limit. Saturdays at 8 p.m. The Grind, where business meets brilliance. It's not just about the ideas.
I was working as a shampoo boy. I used to wash clients' hair on the sink.
It's about making them happen. From big wins.
In primary school, when we would be asked what people want to be, I was categorical that I want to be a nurse.
To hard lessons.
The consoles change, the gaming equipment keep changing.
We cover it all. Tune in to The Grind, where every episode is packed with insights.
The person who is serving customers, always be a customer-centric.
Strategies.
When you pay attention to detail, you get luxury items.
And stories to fuel your ambition. Don't just dream it, grind it. Mondays at 7:30 p.m.
Jiunge nasi tunapoangazia safari za viongozi bora. Kutoka kwa ushindi mkubwa hadi masomo magumu.
Wakati wetu kwamba wasichana si wa kusoma, ni wa kuolewa, ng'ombe ipatikane, wazazi wakuwa watajiri.
Tunashughulikia yote.
I wish I were a better investor.
My parents taught me how to look for things for myself.
Tazama Mfahamu Kiongozi, ambapo kila kipindi kimejaa maarifa, mikakati na hadithi za kukuza azma yako.
For me to succeed, I have to fight.
Kila Alhamisi saa 1:30.
Vile unavyojua watoto wengi sana hawana namna. Mimi ningependelea watoto wasome.
I'm here to stress on education. At the same time, let us actually do any kind of sport that we are doing. Sport speaks the best language to everybody.
Tunataka tutafute talents. Zile raw talents kutoka kule nyumbani mashinani mahali tuko leo.
Hizi mbio za Chepsaita, like all other sports, zinaleta watu pamoja.
We want to use this event to uplift the lives of the community.
Anafurahia hii mchezo sana. Hata sikaange naambianga watu tuende Chepsaita.
Wanafunzi wakimbie ili wakuze talanta ya mbio ama kuhimiza tena elimu.
This is the place to be. Hapa ndipo mahali wanastahili kuwa tarehe 7. Wale watoto walikimbia last year, wamekimbia mpaka wamefuka mipaka zetu za Kenya.
Welcome back. You're watching the Daily Report with me, George Maringa. Calvin McCory is on sign language interpretation. I can see your feedback on Facebook. Okonda Isaac saying you're watching live from Eastleigh, Nairobi. Kipkorir Amos Bomet saying you're watching live from your location. Please keep your feedback coming as well as you stand by for that important conversation that my colleague Victor Miakani had on matters purification of water. They actually purified dirty water into clean water. Find out why in a short while. Now, health insurance in the country is undergoing a major transformation, with the Social Health Authority, SHA, at the forefront. By aligning policies, training professionals, and leveraging digital platforms, SHA is looking forward to bridging gaps in healthcare financing. And as Ann Odida reports, since its launch, the authority has registered 15.3 million Kenyans.
The Social Health Authority SHA, launched in October this year, has so far registered 15.3 million Kenyans, including 5.9 million transitioned from the National Health Insurance Fund (NHIF) in its efforts to reshaping healthcare access and financing in the country.
Addressing challenges like login issues and payment discrepancies remain a priority as we refine these systems to improve user experience and efficiency.
SHA has facilitated operations in over 7,800 healthcare facilities and engaged 46,911 healthcare workers. The government has disbursed 3.7 billion Kenyan shillings to clear pending claims, support the Lenda Mama program, and ensure capitation payments.
The Ministry of Health, under the guidance of the Cabinet Secretary, provides strategic oversight to ensure that health insurance systems are inclusive, efficient, and responsive to the needs of all Kenyans.
At a stakeholders forum between the Kenya Medical Training College KMTC and the Social Health Authority SHA, discussions emphasized the importance of policy alignment, workforce development, and technological innovation in health insurance management.
To achieve UHC, we must strengthen primary healthcare systems, enhance health financing mechanisms, and most importantly, invest in the training and development of health personnel equipped to manage emerging needs, including health insurance.
KMTC is addressing workforce gaps by introducing specialized programs in health insurance management, equipping professionals with essential skills for claims processing and fraud detection.
The college is developing industry-responsive programs in health insurance to support the financing pillar of health systems.
Expanding access to healthcare remains a priority, particularly for underserved populations. SHA is also leveraging digital platforms to streamline registration, claims processing, and data management, aiming to enhance efficiency and inclusivity in health insurance systems. Ann Odida, TV47.
Thank you, Anadida, for that. Despite the Kiambu Law Courts overturning and quashing the ruling, which has seen Daniel Wanyeki spend 17 years in community maximum prison after being convicted with defilement case, Wanyeki will still have to wait even more as he awaits for the Office of Director of Public Prosecutions to respond to his lawyer's application. Kinto Wafula now reports.
Daniel Wanyeki today appeared before Thika Law Courts in pursuit of justice that could set him free.
of incest.
Wanyeki was charged of defilement case in 2007 after being accused to have been continuously defiling his 7 and 9-year-old daughters. In 2020, the two provided an affidavit confessing that the evidence they provided was fabricated and they were coerced by some relatives and a police officer to falsely accuse their father amid a family dispute over their late grandfather's estate that was worth 50 million Kenya shillings.
She had been forced to say to tell lies to the court.
Last week, the Kiambu Law Court quashed Wanyeki's conviction and ordered for a retrial. While this decision brought hope for justice, 7 days later, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, ODPP, is yet to respond to an application by Wanyeki's lawyer, a step that has caused Magistrate Baraza of Thika Law Courts to postpone to give orders to release Wanyeki.
Director of Public Prosecution has not provided even a single reasonable doubt, a compelling reason to continue incarcerating my client. They have not charged him 7 days later. They have not made the decision to charge. They didn't even come with any application seeking to hold him.
Wanyeki's lawyer and family members, including his elder sister, pleaded for his immediate release, arguing that there was no compelling reason to continue holding him, given the recantation of key testimony.
Tunampenda sana na tungefurahia akiwa kama mzazi wetu, akiwa karibu nasi.
Kukaa kifungwa nilikuwa 1 whole year. So nishaimuona na tunataka justice juu tumemiss kukaa sana.
Daniel Wanyeki is now detained at Ruiru Police Station, awaiting the mention of his case on Wednesday, 4th December, before the Thika Law Courts. Kinto Wafula, TV47.
Thank you, Kinto, for that report. The county government of Nakuru has been accused of conducting illegal exhumation of bodies at the Nakuru South Cemetery. Residents now claim that the exhumations of the dead have been happening late in the night to give room for graves, as Chichi Josephine now details.
These are the skulls and bones of the dead that have been allegedly illegally exhumed at the Nakuru South Cemetery in Nakuru.
Meishi kuzika watu katika makaburi hii. Lakini miaka ya kitambo kukuwahi kuwa tumeona mwili zimechimbuliwa. Lakini kwa sasa tunaona kuna vichwa za watoto, mafupa hivi.
The activity now being blamed on the county government of Nakuru, that is accused of failing to give more burial space, leading to recycling of graves and digging fresh ones on footpaths within the cemetery.
Ningependa watenge mahali pengine. Kenya ni kubwa sasa, kwa sababu katika imani ya Waafrika sio vizuri kufukua miili ama kurudia.
Huku kote naona kumetoshana, lakini ukiangalia hapo penye Bekanyanga naona ni kamlima. Kwa hivyo kuna mtu chini. Kwa hivyo huku kote kumejaa, chini kuna watu. Sasa imegojeo mpaka siku yenye itajaa tena wanarudi mwanzo.
A spot check by TV47 revealed that getting a burial space at the cemetery was a big challenge, and fresh graves are dug next or on top of others.
Zamani walikuwa wanachimbua futi sita mpaka 7. Lakini ikaenda hivyo futi 6. Ikakuja hivi ikaruka futi 4. Sasa wako 3. Sasa niulize, sasa ikienda hivyo mtu aanze kuzika futi 2, kutaenda aje?
However, the county government of Nakuru, through a statement released on 28th of November, refuted the allegations, noting that it is committed to ensuring that the site is treated with utmost respect and dignity.
Hii ni kama wanachimbua hivi, wanatengeneza, inabebwa na kukuliwa na umbu.
Residents are now calling on the county government of Nakuru through the Department of Health to allocate more land and space for burying the dead.
Tuna nafasi kubwa huku hivi, badala ya mashamba watu kanzo ingechukua, alafu ikanunua na ikaweza kuweka wafu wao hapo.
Chichi Josephine, TV47.
Let's head to Laikipia, where Laikipia County Governor Joshua Irungu has dissolved the County Revenue Board after the board was accused of corruption and favoritism in job placements, as Ruga Eval now tells us.
Laikipia Governor Joshua Irungu dissolved the Revenue Board on grounds of corruption and bribes to offer job opportunities to applicants. Others complain of sexual favors in the process.
Kuna wengine walihogana ndio wapate kazi. Kuna wengine walisema kuna mambo mengine ya usaliti iliendelea, sexual favors na mambo kama hayo, which I cannot entertain as a father of this county.
The motion was tabled by the Ward Representative Stephen Dirito.
If we want to end corruption, the entire board should go home.
The MCAs in the Laikipia County Assembly voted in favor of dissolving the Revenue Board, which last year managed to raise a total sum of 1.1 Kenyan billion shillings.
Brain power is what is mattering right now. It's not a matter of who knows who anymore. That generation has ended. I'm sorry, but I believe this board should be dissolved entirely.
Ile hela ambao wanaitisha hongo 50,000 na mshahara ni shilingi 18,000. Hili si jambo la kawaida katika jimbo letu kuona mamaya akifanyika.
Governor Irungu stating it is ironical for board members to engage in corrupt practices, emphasizing that those involved must face strict legal action after an investigation is conducted.
Watu wamesimamishwa kazi until further notice, when we get the witnesses and evidences is given for the ones who have to go home.
The board had employed about 230 people, while 20 more staff had been hired to fill in positions of those who were dismissed, with the governor indicating that each person will be investigated to confirm if they meet the standards. Ruga Eval, TV47.
Thank you, Ruga, for that. KCA University has installed its third chancellor, Dr. Martin Oduor Otieno, taking the leadership from Professor Olive Mugenda. Speaking at the ceremony held at KCA main campus in Ruaraka, Nairobi County, Oduor expressed his appreciation to the Board of Trustees and pledged to build upon the remarkable legacy established at KCA. KCA Vice Chancellor Isaiah Wanyeki praised Oduor and reaffirmed that this appointment is a testament to the university's mission to empower and transform students through education.
I think the vision for KCA University that it becomes the greatest university, and that it produces graduates who can really impact the world in whichever field they end up. And because there's really need for great leadership, there's great need for excellence, there's need for innovation, there's need for real research which is tailored towards solving practical problems that act as challenges to us in this country and in the wider continent.
The office of the Chancellor being the titular head or the patron of the university, the Chancellor brings in at his individual capacity as a distinguished citizen of this republic with vast networks and experiences. And let's not forget that he was involved in the formation and foundation of this university close to 35 years ago. And therefore, we see a reincarnation of the same spirit that will take this university to the next level.
Now, 6 suspects in the murder of a Form 4 student at Shanna's Boys High School in Nakuru County were arraigned in a Naivasha court today. They have now been converted into state witnesses in the case, as Willie Dennis Njiru now reports.
Yes, Your Honor, they're all present.
The 6 before court, Sammy Christopher Dark, James Minor,
Constantine Okude, Breston Mokaya, John Juguna and Josiah Oyengo, and others not before court were arraigned before Chief Magistrate Nathan Shundu on accounts of murder of a schoolmate Vincent Ngugi.
I am asking Your Honor to place the matter aside to be addressed by the in-charge shortly, and I'll also be informing the advocate for one of the subjects to appear before court.
Sami, a Sudanese native and the main suspect to the death of a colleague, is said to have stabbed to death Vincent Ngugi on 9th November at Shinas Boys High School, Gilgil constituency.
Sami Christopher Duck. Sami Christopher Duck, it says that on the 9th of November 2024 at Shinas Boys High School in Gilgil sub-county within Nakuru County, unlawfully killed.
No, just for purposes of starting off on the proper footing. How old is he? Only 17. 17. Is there evidence?
The magistrate further directed a medical report to ascertain actual age of the murder suspect following overwhelming age dispute before proceedings.
Yeah, we need to start off on the proper footing, Mr. Wanga. Either age assessment or so that we know what we are dealing with. Yes.
In heeding to the court directives Friday, the six are set to be arraigned and charged before the court on Monday next week. For TV47, I'm Willie Dennis Njiru.
Let's make sense of the sense, and Trans Nzoia Governor George Natembeya has announced that the county has terminated the contract of the company previously supplying milk under the Ukombozi Milk Initiative program. The termination was attributed to the supplier's incapacity to meet the program's demands. Governor Natembeya revealed that the contract has now been re-tendered to new KCC. The Ukombozi Milk Initiative, which aims to improve class attendance and enhance the nutrition of school-going children, faced funding challenges in the last financial year.
Ya school milk program kulikuwa na challenge kidogo. Yule jamaa ambaye tulipatia kandarasi hakukuwa na uwezo wa kusupply maziwa. Tulikuwa tumeweka fedha shilingi milioni 70, lakini akashindwa kusupply maziwa. Alisupply maziwa ya shilingi milioni 7 peke yake, milioni 63 bado ziko. Tunataka kupatia new KCC. Wakati watoto wetu wanafungua shule Januari, wataanza na kukunywa maziwa.
KenGen, which is an electricity generating company in East Africa, has confirmed its continued commitment to advancing renewable energy across Africa, likewise delivering greater value to its shareholders and the nation at large. Speaking during the 72nd annual general meeting in Nairobi, the company's chairman confirmed the major progress in the 250 million Kenya shillings geothermal development contract with the state-owned Eswatini Electricity Company, EEC. The contract, he said, marks a significant step in KenGen's mission to support Africa's renewable energy ambitions and mitigate the effects of climate change.
June 2024, together with the chairman's, directors, and auditors' reports thereon. Reply with 1 if in favor. Reply with 2 if against.
This is a critical step in supporting Kenya's ambition to achieve 100% green energy by the year 2030. As chairman of the board, I'm proud of the progress we have made and confident in our ability to deliver even greater value for our shareholders, stakeholders, and the nation. As we conclude this AGM, I wish to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our shareholders, staff, and stakeholders for their unwavering support and trust in KenGen.
We are happy to report that we are making great strides in all these projects. Beyond financial performance, our commitment to sustainability remains the core of our operations. KenGen continues to lead Kenya's energy transition by reducing our carbon footprint and advancing the government's goal of achieving 100% green energy by the year 2030. Looking ahead, we are firmly focused on driving even greater impact through our G2G 2024 to 2034 strategy. This plan aims to expand our renewable energy capacity by 1,500 megawatts. We are going to embrace technological innovation.
Kenya Reinsurance Corporation Nyeri, in collaboration with the Insurance Regulatory Authority IRA, has held a forum to educate insurance firms on trends in tax technology, taxation regimes, and issues pertaining to digital technology. Speaking at the College of Insurance, Nairobi County, Nyeri Group Managing Director Hilary Maina Washinga said that with this swift transition to digital tax administration, he said that the purpose of the conference is to enlighten insurance companies on the implications of the International Financial Reporting Standard for the insurance sector, with a particular emphasis on tax regulations and the necessary steps for compliance.
We want to discuss tax. We don't take your attendance here for granted because it is such an important topic. It is so dynamic, it's changing. And so that we reduce the chances of disputes amongst ourselves, you as the primary underwriters or the brokers for that matter, and then coming over to the Kenya Reinsurance Corporation as your reinsurance provider, then we would want to have a common understanding about some of these problematic areas. And even as we do that, we'll obviously be watching what's happening on the global stage, because then that will inform what is likely to come up here. You've all had the debate around the significant economic presence tax, which is supposed to replace digital services tax. And that is a concept that has been borrowed from the base erosion and profit shifting initiatives. So it's something that we are really watching, and we would want to definitely see how it's going to impact us.
Let's take another short break. On the Daily Report, the insight continues in a few minutes. Please stay with us.
Vile unavyojua watoto wengi sana hawana namna. Mimi ningependelea watoto wasome.
I'm here to stress on education. At the same time, let us actually do any kind of sport that we are doing. Sport speaks the best language to everybody.
Tunataka tutafute talents. Zile raw talents kutoka kule nyumbani mashinani mahali tuko leo.
Hizi mbio za Chepsaita, like all other sports, zinaleta watu pamoja.
We want to use this event to uplift the lives of the community.
Anafurahia hii mchezo sana. Hata sikaange naambianga watu tuende Chepsaita.
Wanafunzi wakimbie ili wakuze talanta ya mbio ama kuhimiza tena elimu.
This is the place to be. Hapa ndipo mahali wanastahili kuwa tarehe 7. Wale watoto walikimbia last year, wamekimbia mpaka wamefuka mipaka zetu za Kenya.
Hey there friends, welcome to Kids on the Block, where fun and imagination come alive. We dive into magical world filled with exciting adventures and awesome friends.
What position were you in?
I was number 2.
What position were you?
Number 1.
He decided
to cross the bridge, buy his house, and look for food on the other side.
We're going to do half cup of chocolate chips, and the other one, we're going to do half cup of the blueberries.
So, grab your imagination hats and get ready to explore with us. Join us every Saturday at 9 a.m. for new friends, amazing stories, and tons of laughter.
Join us as we explore the journeys of those who defy the odds and break barriers. We dive deep into the stories of triumph.
Sometimes when parenting a child with a special need or whatever disability, family life becomes a bit complicated and you may end up raising the child on your own.
Here, we inspire.
I have a farm which one we showcase with other dyslexic youths and autism how to farm.
Motivate.
It's never easy, but what we do, the best thing is to work with another parent who has an elder child than yours.
And break through the barriers one story at a time. Push your boundaries beyond the limit. Saturdays at 8 p.m. The Grind, where business meets brilliance. It's not just about the ideas.
I was working as a shampoo boy. I used to wash clients' hair on the sink.
It's about making them happen. From big wins.
In primary school, when we would be asked what people want to be, I was categorical that I want to be a nurse.
To hard lessons.
The consoles change, the gaming equipment keep changing.
We cover it all. Tune in to The Grind, where every episode is packed with insights.
The person who is serving customers, always be a customer-centric.
Strategies.
When you pay attention to detail, you get luxury items.
And stories to fuel your ambition. Don't just dream it, grind it. Mondays at 7:30 p.m.
Jiunge nasi tunapoangazia safari za viongozi bora. Kutoka kwa ushindi mkubwa hadi masomo magumu.
Wakati wetu kwamba wasichana si wa kusoma, ni wa kuolewa, ng'ombe ipatikane, wazazi wakuwa watajiri.
Tunashughulikia yote.
I wish I were a better investor.
My parents taught me how to look for things for myself.
Tazama Mfahamu Kiongozi, ambapo kila kipindi kimejaa maarifa, mikakati na hadithi za kukuza azma yako.
For me to succeed, I have to fight.
Kila Alhamisi saa 1:30.
Sports news brought to you by Maybets.
Let's get sporty. Sports Cabinet Secretary Onesmus Kipchumba Murkomen today unveiled a newly constituted Sports Kenya Board as the Confederation of African Football (CAF) inspectors toured stadia and hotels ahead of the 2025 CHAN competition. The team from the African governing body on Thursday morning pitched camp at Nyayo National Stadium. They also inspected ongoing renovations at Ulinzi Sports Complex in Langata and Police Sacco Stadium in South Sea, which will be used as training grounds. Also on the CAF checklist were accommodation facilities in Nairobi. Kenya, Tanzania and Uganda will jointly host the African Nations Championship early next year. Kenyan basketball champions Nairobi City Thunder this evening played MMB Club of South Africa at Nyayo Indoor Arena in their first match of the Elite 16 East Division Basketball Africa League qualifiers. Earlier today at the same venue, Creole Star from Cape Verde defeated Brave Hearts from Malawi 89-58 in Group A. In other results, Ugandan team City Oilers thumped Folks of South Sudan 77-47 in a Group B game. In tomorrow's fixtures, City Thunder will have a date with Creole Star at 8 p.m, while Brave Hearts will clash with MMB. National women's football team Harambee Starlets today held their session in Morocco ahead of their two international friendly matches. Coach Beldine Odemba and her squad will take on their hosts on Friday evening in their first fixture. They will next take on the same opposition next Tuesday. The team has new call-ups including Junior Starlets captain and defender Elizabeth Ochaka, Trinity Starlets striker Jacqueline Chesang and Vihiga Queens forward Diana Cherono. Meanwhile, the national men's team Harambee Stars dropped on the World FIFA rankings released today.
It's the first time kuitwa, nimefurahia kuitwa national team, kuja kucheza hii game mbili.
Na feel poa sana because nilikuwa na hopes that kuna siku yenye ndaitwa national team, moso senior, na ndio hii Mungu ameniwezeshea nimefika.
Kezi ya leo imekuwa poa. Ni kujituma tu.
Sports news brought to you by Maybets.
Watching the daily report. As I did promise you, the insight is up next, where my colleague Victor Muyakane had an interesting conversation on the power of a clean glass of water. That conversation with Dennis Mavia, Director of Kenyan Mission, as well as Victor Dihanda, Director of Mission Mapping Africa, as well as a data analyst. We want to thank you so much for watching the daily report tonight. My name is George Maringa. On sign language interpretation has been Kelvin McCoy. As always, stay safe and be kind to one another. I'll see you next time. Up next is the Sports Street.
Good evening. You've often heard that water is life. Yet a number of people, millions of people across our country and our continent and our world struggle to get access to this very, very important thing. Needless to say, their lives are in jeopardy because of that. Tonight, we're joined by two gentlemen from an organization that has made it its life's purpose to fix this problem: access to clean water. Karibu sana, gentlemen. Karibu sana. I understand one of you is my namesake. For purposes of just distinguishing this, please introduce yourself and where you come from.
So my name is Dennis Mavia. I'm a resident of Kibera, and also I work with the Bucket Ministry as just in terms of coordination, ensuring everything and all the recipients get the buckets and the filters that they deserve.
Which we're going to talk about.
Right.
Thank you. How about you, sir?
Yeah, thank you. My name is Victor. You're actually my namesake.
That's right.
I serve with the Bucket Ministry, the organization that is distributing water filters to deprived communities around the world.
Okay.
As a data analyst. And yeah, I've been serving the organization for the past 4 years now. And that's what we are here to talk about.
All right.
Yeah.
In fact, I think we just launched straight into it. And I'll start with you, my namesake.
Yes.
They say, water is a basic right. It's one of the most basics of our rights. Yet millions still don't have access to drinking water. What is it about this water crisis that makes it so complex? And why has it persisted for so long, in your opinion?
Actually, Victor, that number is in billions, 2 billion to be precise, according to data from the United Nations and UNICEF 2021. More than 2 billion people across the world lack access to clean and safe drinking water. And that's becoming a global challenge that we are trying our level best to contribute in finding solutions to it.
What is the direct impact of diseases like cholera and typhoid on the community that you've seen on people like children and women?
First, it's very important to know how does this water get contaminated, because you find when we have open sewers, we have things called flying toilets. Sometimes they end up in trenches. Then you find the water connectivity. We have lots of people who, with lack of a better word, steal water and just channel it for their own good. So you find, due to that not proper water connectivity, you find sometimes the pipes will end up mixing with sewagery. So that becomes very, it brings the water pollution. And also, once the water is contaminated and there's no proper ways of cleaning the water, when people drink it, it becomes the waterborne diseases, it becomes rampant.
In your work, have you seen an example that you can share from Kibera of a situation where access to clean water has directly led to an impact in a family's health, for example?
Sometime in mid-November 2021, we did a case study which involved 10,000 households within the 7 villages in Kibera. And what we are trying to determine from the study is how clean water directly impacts the health of the population in Kibera. And so in the study, we found out that there were self-reported cases of diarrhea. So what we normally do with the organization is that we distribute filters, and then we do follow-ups, what we call follow-ups, within a span of 60 to 90 days, just to continue to chart the progress and see whether we are having a decrease in the number of waterborne illnesses and their rare cases, whether there is
vile unavyojua watoto wengi sana hawana namna. Mimi ningependelea watoto wasome.
I'm here to stress on education. At the same time, let us actually do any kind of sport that we are doing. Sport speaks the best language to everybody.
Tunataka tutafute talents. Zile raw talents kutoka kule nyumbani mashinani mahali tuko leo.
Hizi mbio za Chepsaita, like all other sports, zinaleta watu pamoja.
We want to use this event to uplift the lives of the community.
Anafurahia hii mchezo sana. Hata sikaange naambianga watu tuende Chepsaita.
Wanafunzi wakimbie ili wakuze talanta ya mbio ama kuhimiza tena elimu.
This is the place to be. Hapa ndipo mahali wanastahili kuwa tarehe 7. Wale watoto walikimbia last year wamekimbia mpaka wamefuka mipaka zetu za Kenya.